What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle. Welcome back to the playbook. If you're new, and you are, it is free to subscribe. Today we have something special, out of the ordinary. We're talking about a new meta formation, and I doubt that you have it in the rotation. Just throwing it out there. On screen, we have a friend of mine, Levy, one of the best players in the world, representing Team Hullet. You see the 4-5-1, the second variation. I'm not joking. I'm not kidding. And I never thought that I would talk about a 4-5-1 with any level of positive accreditation. I might have just made up that word. It's never been a formation, either variation, that has resonated with yours truly. Let me explain why this works. And in the comments section, let me know what formations are currently on the roster, the rotation. Custom tactics, defensively balanced, the width at a 42, so that's relatively narrow. But the formation does start out with plenty of spacing out wide. It almost balances itself. Depth at a 70 is not by accident. If you're new to FC or even previous FIFAs, with depth 71 and onward as a threshold changes the game in terms of automated pressure. He wants to stay just under that on purpose so he has more control of the team. Offensively balanced and direct passing, that has been a bread and butter throughout the last couple years. Width at a 50, players in the box, corners, free kicks, all that somewhat baseline. Let's continue. Goalkeeper, balance, and they're not going to be miracle workers in general in terms of the custom tactics. Right back, and I need you to pay attention, overlap. It's going to be an offensive outlet, and then he's staying on balance, which means this is going to be a high-end attacker, a focal point. And we've seen this as a theme this year. Often one fullback will be more offensively centric, and you try to really push that as your priority side. Typically your better offensive fullback, and then the other fullback will be a little more defensive. And as I sort of set up, the left back stay back while attacking, also on overlap. The overlap's important for the outlets, the switching of the pitch, having that additional width, and wait till you see what Levy's done with some of his attackers in order to increase the spacing and the produce. I'm not going grocery shopping. So both center mids between Modric and Valverde, in this case, have the same custom tactics where you have stay back while attacking and cover center. So those are defensive tactics. Now, I know that Levy's gone with Modric and Valverde being more of the box-to-box holding midfielder, Modric being a little more of a maestro type, a little more balanced. For many of you, you might want to go more defensive in this approach play. Depends what your personnel looks like, what you need for your team, but I'm just throwing it out there. You might want two more or less holding midfielders in this role. His left center mid is going to be more of a floating and attacking player. In this case, Bernardo Silva, cover center, does not stay back while attacking, not going to be breaking up plays. He is going to hover in the middle of the pitch and be a facilitator, an orchestrator, an offensive weapon. But I just want you to know that you cannot count on him to play a bunch of defense, whoever is in this role, based on the setup. For both the left mid and the right mid, highly important information here. You see the three-piece popping on screen. Come back on defense, which helps you, of course, when you lose the ball. Everyone's chasing back. Get into the box for crosses, which means they're going to more aggressively push forward. It changes their general positioning. And cut inside. And the reason that cut inside is so important for both the left mid and the right mid, it almost allows you to create a front three as if you were playing a 4-3-2-1. So now you have the Trivela and the finesse shot angle. You can do some quicker passing. And if you recall, both his fullbacks are on overlap. They now have space to work with on both sides, and it provides additional width. And in some ways, if you've seen the Mighty Ducks, the Flying V, that's what you have here. You have almost 6 attackers between your striker. Both the left mid and right mid are pushing forward, the overlapping fullbacks, and then you still have Bernardo Silva, who is floating in the midfield just under them. As for the striker, in this case, Eric Cantona, legend of the game, staying central. He's going to be your target player. But you've got a lot of offense, and then players are chasing back. And your ability to build up out of the back with some of the switching of the pitches, fullback to fullback, or even midfielder to fullback, it gives you safe outlets. Those are my thoughts. I will link Levy's channel down below. He's a friend of the channel, a friend of the community, a fantastic FC player. I might be downplaying at that point. I mean, he's a champion. The guy's got status. Highly impressive. And if you're looking for a new formation to try out, the 4-5-1 second variation could be just that. I look forward to the comments. And as always, I have a lot more content coming out ASAP.